Hello, wrestling fans, and welcome back to another edition of NBC's 10 Count. I'm Steve Fault. But on today's edition, I am talking to one half of the most decorated tag team champions of all time, and you can hear him on Busted Open Radio. It's Bully Ray. How are you doing today?
You sound very excited, Steven.
Well, you got a Red Bull, it gives you wings. Yeah. And plus, my children keep me up all night, so I have to keep the energy up somehow. And talking to you, lifetime goals, check mark. We're here talking about NWA 74, though, because this is a huge event, 2 days extravaganza. But how did you even get involved with NWA? Did Billy Corgan call you? Did someone else reach out? Did you call them?
I've actually been friendly with Billy since the day he stepped foot in TNA, Impact Wrestling, and, just showed up to watch, and he was getting involved in some way, shape, or form. And me and Billy just hit it off. We would always talk about wrestling and rock and roll. We had, the conversation just flowed. And we've stayed in touch over the years and, in one way, shape, or form. And I always liked and appreciated what Billy was doing with the NWA. I like the fact that he was able to purchase it out of basically obscurity and breathe life back into it. Billy definitely has a passion for the professional wrestling industry, but probably the same type of passion he has for music. And we all know how successful Billy is, with the Smashing Pumpkins. So I remember getting in touch with Billy because I like what the NWA does. I like the fact that the NWA allows their talent to be talented, to go out there and do what they do, to go out there and tell the stories the way they see fit, to allow talent to go out there without a script and just basically speak from the heart off the top of their head and go have the matches that they think the NWA fan wants to see. So I appreciate that type of freedom in a wrestling company. Obviously, coming up in a company like ECW, where there was the most freedom you could possibly ever want in a wrestling company. When I saw the NWA, I saw the comparisons, I saw the likenesses, and I said, at this stage of the game where I don't have to do anything I don't want to do because I love what I do on Busted Open and being able to cover pro wrestling as much as I do on our show, I said, I think I'd like to do something there. But what? And we have talked for years about what that thing was that I was going to do. Who do I work with? Who do I tell my stories with? Who do I fight? Who do I talk to? Whatever it was. And then I realized that there was going to be a match at their Knoxville pay-per-view, and it was going to be Kylan King, the challenger, versus the NWA Women's World Champion, who is Camille.
Yes.
Kylan King and Camille both personally trained by me at the Team 3D Academy. So I have a hand in both of these women's careers. So I said, Billy, I called him and I said, listen, we've been looking for this thing to do. What's this main event match I can be in? Or what's this main event storyline I could be in? How about I just come in and commentate for this match? I said, the story's there. I train these women. I'd love to be able to be on commentary to help tell these women's story, maybe help to get them over a little bit. Not that they can't get themselves over in their work in the ring, which they did, because I thought Camille and Kylan King stole the show that night. But let's just give them a little bit of a boost. Billy loved the idea, came in, did commentary, and that's how that happened.
Wow. So that moment was extra important, I think, for you, someone who trained these two athletes. I think they're now in this huge matchup, what you just said stole the show. So that moment was important for those women, but obviously important for you as well, right?
I was very proud of Kylan and Camille. I train my students the old school way. So I know what I personally put them through when they were coming up in the business. I know Camille's story, which is definitely a hard-fought battle to get where she is today. Kylan's been doing it the old-fashioned way, working hard, busting her ass, quality match, night after night, using her social media the right way. And using her social media is not the old school way, but the motto of Team 3D Academy was old school rules, new school tools. And using your social media is a new school tool as a vehicle to help get yourself over and get your name out there. And Kylan's doing a fantastic job. So to me, I was just proud of these girls. It was my way of being able to sit there and personally watch them and say, Great job. You made it. You're doing amazing. And I just wanted to have the best seat in the house to see it.
Of course. Now, does Team 3D Academy and NWA, is there a working relationship now? No, nothing.
The Team 3D Academy is an independent wrestling school who is not affiliated with any one particular company, and that's the way I want it. This is, if you want to be a pro wrestler, if you're a man or a woman who knows that you want professional wrestling to be the business that you've chosen, you want this to be the rest of your life, you come to me and I will train you and give you the best opportunity to make it. I don't make any promises like, oh, I have friends in the WWE or I have friends in the NWA or AEW. I believe that's very, very unfair. You come to my school, I train you for a year, and when you're done, you're allowed to go out there and spread your wings, and hopefully I've instilled enough knowledge in you where you can give yourself the best opportunity to make a living in the world of pro wrestling.
Wow. So that's good news for wrestlers to be trained by you, obviously, because of your lineage. But NWA and their lineage, they're creating, though, a new women's championship, a TV championship. Now, how important is this for women's wrestling? Because obviously you were a world champion and you're a tag team specialist. So should NWA eventually invest in a women's tag team titles, or secondary mid-card women's championships is more important, you think, for one-on-one competition versus two-on-two, and NWA at least?
I don't think a championship should ever be deemed as a mid-card championship, because I think it takes away from that championship once you say mid-card.
Right.
If the NWA wants to make a women's TV championship, then that woman, whoever holds that championship, should be able to prove herself that every time the NWA airs on TV, whether that's on Fight or YouTube, that woman is defending her championship. She's basically proving that she's a workhorse within the women's division, where week after week after week, she can defend that championship, as opposed to a world heavyweight champion that might have more storyline driven matches where they're wrestling maybe wrestling sporadically on TV, but having the big match at the pay-per-views. I'm a big fan of workhorse championships. I think the wrestling industry is littered with championships that don't mean a damn thing. I think the WWE in the past couple of weeks has done a phenomenal job of reminding us of what the U.S. Championship means, reminding us of what the Intercontinental Championship means. I know what that Intercontinental Championship meant to me when I was a kid. You were a big deal if you held the IC strap. I know what that U.S. Championship meant back in WCW. You were a big deal if you held that strap. But over the years, they've become watered down to nothing more than props. I know other wrestlers have used the word to describe certain championships as props, but that's what they were. But under Triple H's regime, I believe that he's breathing new life into it, giving people a reason to understand and appreciate what these championships mean. And I think it's great for the NWA to create a women's TV championship, because I think the NWA has quality women in their division.
So do you think tag team titles could be the next step, or that's too many maybe?
If you have enough women in your division to justify creating a women's tag team championship, then go right ahead. Is the women's tag team championship working out in the WWE?
No.
Maybe it will under the new regime.
Right.
We shall see.
Right. Yeah. Time will tell how that works out. Obviously, times have changed recently, so we'll see what the next few months go in the WWE. Quick story. When I was a kid, you were in Danvers, Mass, and you guys used to have ECW leather jackets, right? And I remember being a kid sitting there, and you and like Blue Meanie and somebody else were walking by. I remember being a kid, like, oh my God, like, because at the time ECW was only on a Spanish channel where I lived, so it was so hard to watch. I just remember, like, I have to talk to him about that. I just had to tell him that was just so cool to see you there, standing there, in your big cool leather jacket. Probably torn up now somewhere. I can't imagine that still lasted 20 something years.
I still have it.
You still have it. That's awesome.
Yep.
That is so cool. But night one of NWA, though, you're taking on Mike Knox in a tables match. And this match is personal to Mike Knox, maybe to you as well, because he claims that you left him high and dry in Impact Wrestling after Aces and Eights. Now, did you leave him high and dry, or is this sour grapes?
Here's the thing. I don't even know where to start with this, because it has kind of perplexed me since it happened. I got invited to the NWA for 2 nights. Like I told Billy, hey, I'd like to be ringside for Kylan versus Camille. And he said, great. He goes, will you be there night 2 also and kind of be like the host of the show, the master of ceremonies? I'd be more than happy to. I was like, sure. And I was basically there just to welcome everybody to the NWA and thank the fans for the night before. And, hey, I really appreciate you guys following my career. Thank you. Good night. I'm Bully Ray. And out of nowhere, Knox showed up. And, you know, I have nothing but good memories of Mike Knox for when we were in TNA together, when he was a part of the Aces and Eights. Like, I genuinely like the dude. Obviously, he has some animosity towards me, some pent-up aggression towards me, a bone to pick with me that he has never picked since the last time that I saw him. No text, no call, but, you know, like in wrestling, sometimes, you know, out of sight, out of mind. Maybe he thought I showed up because I was looking to take somebody's spot or was acting like the veteran of the wrestling business or the Hall of Famer coming into NWA to try to get over on everybody. Not the case at all. Not the case at all. So Mike, in my opinion, went into business for himself when he took that shot at me and when he, you know, and he put me through a table. And listen, it's not like haven't happened to me before. I didn't think I had enough room in my back to stab another knife into. Mike Knox found some room on my back. So I got Billy on Busted Open, and I said, I'm kind of holding you to this because you're the one who invited me, and one of your contracted guys took a swipe at me. So now at NWA 74, I'd like Knox in a tables match. And Billy didn't hesitate. He said, you got him. So what I do past this tables match with the NWA, I have no idea. I like the company. I like the talent. I think Mike Knox at the end of the day has genuinely proved that he's a piece of shit. Whatever. I wish nothing but success for Billy and the talent and the NWA. But what I do after St. Louis, I have no idea. But I am telling you this, Steve. And I don't guarantee a lot of things because in business, in the wrestling business, things change so much. I guarantee you I put Mike Knox through a table.
For the win?
For the win.
So if you did lose a tables match at NWA 74, is that a slap in your legacy?
Whatever. No, do you think it's a slap in my legacy? I'm one half of the most decorated tag teams in the history of the business. They'll still be talking about me and Devon in 100 years.
Yeah.
Is it really a slap to my legacy?
No, but Mike Knox probably believes it is.
Good for him. Good for him. What can I,
right.
What can I tell you? I requested the match. So at the end of the day, if I lose, it's on me. True.
This is a giant opportunity for Mike Knox, though, to take on someone.
I would say so. I would say it's a big opportunity for him. He hasn't done a damn thing since his days riding my coattails. Now he's riding Cardona's. And he had a nice little spot with me. I made sure Mike was taken care of. See, that's what you don't hear a lot in the wrestling business. You only hear about the bad of people. Oh, Bully did this and Bully did this, and he wasn't liked for this reason or whatever. Mike didn't tell you all the good things that happened to him and his family when he was a part of the Aces and Eights. And I wasn't going out there to spew all that, stuff that's basically between me and him. He took the shot. He did what he had to do. Now there's repercussions. NWA 74, night 1, all the NWA fans, all the wrestling fans will see the repercussions.
Oh, man. Mike Knox, it sounds like he's crossed the line here. But you asked for the match, so obviously it's going to be a huge one between you and him on night 1, tables match. I am very excited for this one. You did bring up Matt Cardona for a second. I kind of want to bring up a question for you about championships in NWA, where he was the champion. He was heading into his own pay-per-view, always ready. He got injured at a different wrestling event, and he couldn't defend his title. Do you think that it's smart to allow your champions to go compete in other events? I know it's good for business to bring more eyes to, oh, this guy's here, but yet he got injured.
If you don't want your champion competing at other events because you're worried that they're going to get injured, put them on paper, have them sign a contract for whatever length of time that is, where your contract says you can't wrestle at any other events. And if you're going to take those events away from said wrestler, you have to buck up and pay them.
Right.
Otherwise, you run the risk of the wrestler getting hurt on another event like Cardona did.
Right. A whole pay-per-view named after him.
You take the risk. Hey, listen, in sports, don't they have in contracts where, like some of the higher, paid players, like you can't go skydiving and you can't ride a jet ski and you can't do this and you can't do that because we're paying you ungodly amounts of money and you can't take any type of unnecessary risks that might affect you hurting yourself, thus affecting your performance on this team.
True. This is true.
So it's double-edged sword there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cardona got hurt and he couldn't perform on a pay-per-view that was named after him. Personally, I think Cardona's ducking me because he talks a lot of shit on social media about how he's this hardcore guy just because he wrestles in garbage bag GCW, which is one of the worst ECW ripoffs I've ever seen in my life. And all of a sudden, he's this hardcore guy.
And there has been a lot of ECW
ripoffs. You've never seen Cardona in the ring with a true hardcore guy, a true extreme guy, masters of the art of extreme. Who have you seen him with? Nick Gage?
Yeah, I was going to say, that's the only person I can think of.
Oh, my God. Please.
That's the only person I can think of.
Please.
Of pizza cutters. That's
awful. Awful.
You brought up ECW. There have been plenty of people who've tried to take ECW and just make a new version of it over the years. It's been 20 years of new ECWs. What do you think?
You had the CZW garbage bag wrestlers. You have the GCW garbage bag wrestlers, all trying to ride the coattails or capture some of the glory of what ECW created back in the day. Your company will never be ECW. Your wrestlers will never be ECW wrestlers. Please stop. Do something different.
Yes, I agree. There is never, ever going to be another ECW, no matter how many people want there to be or try to be like, oh, no, we're just a different version
of it. And here's
it.
The thing. These companies like GCW, they have no backbone because they stay away from the guys they know that truly can expose them. Do you really think, hey, listen, Nick Gage had the balls to show up at StarCast with all the GCW guys. Mind you, I eliminated every single one of them. Yeah, Mance Warner got the best of me at the end of the day. Good job, Mance. But I eliminated every GCW guy. You saw Nick Gage come to the Battle Royal. Did you see Nick Gage get in the Battle Royal with me?
No.
Why not?
I'm not Nick. I don't know.
Because he's a pussy.
Okay.
If Nick Gage truly wanted a piece of me, he would have been in the ring.
True.
If GCW actually had a set of balls, they'd put Nick Gage in the ring with me. Won't happen. You know why? I'll expose them. I'll expose him for the frauds they really are.
Wow. I think I would pay big money to see that match, but we'll probably never see it. According to what you're saying, is they're never going to bring you there because of you exposing what truly is one version of ECW, which is another version trying to be ECW.
They lack the guts, the backbone, the balls, whatever you want to call it, to put their top guy in a position where he could have his ass handed to him in a heartbeat.
Right.
Out wrestled, out worked, out violenced, out promoed, out everything.
Yeah. You can cut you can cut a promo. We've definitely know you can do that and wrestle in championships, under championship. It's like you can fill a whole room with the championships you've won in all these different companies. So I do agree with you.
But back to NWA 74, because that's what we're here to talk about. I'm excited for the whole 2-night event. I really am.
The world title match is going to be outstanding on night 2.
I think that took a lot of guts on Billy's part to strip Nick Aldis of the number one contendership. And Billy talked about the politics. He didn't talk about Nick directly, but I'll be damned if I didn't think that Billy was talking about Nick and the politicking that was going on behind the scenes. So Nick, no longer your number one contender. Tyrus in that spot. I mean, Tyrus is the TV champion.
Right. So we could have a dual champion here. And yet there's always going to be controversy around all types of wrestlers. But like this match, the results of this match could cause quite a rift amongst wrestling fans. But yet I think it's going to be one of those matchups, two huge powerhouses just going at it. So like, do you have a prediction for that matchup?
Listen, this new version of Trevor is a very dangerous version of Trevor Murdoch.
Yeah.
I don't think he gives a shit anymore. I think that he's done trying to please everybody. I think he's done trying to be a version of Trevor that everybody else thinks he should be. Mm-hmm. I think Trevor is finally, after years and years and years in this industry, become hardened and selfish. And selfish has a bad connotation, but you have to be selfish in this business. And I think Trevor is realizing, I have to watch out for me first. And once you can put yourself first in wrestling, that's when you give yourselves the best opportunity to win championships and defend championships. Trust me, been there, done that.
True.
When I stopped giving a damn about everybody except myself, I became the TNA World Heavyweight Champion, not once but twice. Put the most asses in seats that TNA's ever seen at one pay-per-view. Lockdown, San Antonio.
Yep. Yep.
Two nights, NWA 74, St. Louis at the Chase, very historic venue. NWATix.com. Hope people show up. Hope the Busted Open Nation shows up in droves. You should come too.
I was going to say, I locally, I'll have to convince my wife, who's pregnant with my third child. I get a babysitter to watch my other two kids. But you know what? We'll just get a bus. We'll
if you can't be in St. Louis for NWA 74, check it out on Fight TV.
Yes,
I know that Billy is working extremely hard to put on a great 2-night event. And then we're going to be in Nashville Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday following for for NWA Power television tapings.
Yeah.
So hopefully see everybody at Skyline Studios.
Hopefully we'll see you there as well.
Listen, one night. Whatever happens after that first night, I'll probably stick around for night 2.
Yeah.
Because I do want to see what goes on night 2.
Again, the heavyweight championship match, the idea of Nick Aldis being ripped from the number one contendership, and I feel, because I interviewed him before, and he hates Matt Cardona. Yet here we are now, no Matt Cardona, but Nick Aldis is very protective of NWA. So let's see what happens, I think, on night 2. Will he interrupt? Will he show up? Will there be security issues with Nick Aldis trying to get in, making sure that this match does not happen? I'm very interested to see what happens with the championship results. And of course, Nick Aldis, what's next for him?
So Aldis doesn't want to lose his spot.
Of course not.
Nick Aldis is turning into the person that he has despised the most in wrestling. And I'm not talking about any one particular person. He's turning into the grizzled vet that he despised when he was an up-and-comer. Is that a bad thing? I don't know. I know that grizzled vets protect their spot.
Of course.
Well, and I think that's what Nick is trying to do. I think he's trying to protect his spot.
I hope
and will do whatever it takes to get himself back into that world championship picture. Because if you're Nick Aldis, you have to be pissed off at your boss.
I would be.
Just shows up on Busted Open and says, you're out of the main event.
Yeah.
Just like that. Why, Billy? Because I can do it. Because you're a pain in my ass, Nick, and I can do it.
When that was announced, my brain kind of like melted. I was like, I'm sorry, what happened? Like the Mr. NWA is no longer the number one contender for the title. Like this is, and you have him two nights, and Nick Aldis is missing. Like to me, that was incredibly shocking. But I think it brought more eyes. It's going to bring more butts to the seats, more people watching on Fight TV. So this is a huge event. So what can fans expect tuning in to NWA 74 and, of course, NWA all the time on YouTube, on Fight TV. Like, what can fans expect watching this event?
Listen, I'm not the best person to ask that question because I've been in the NWA now for a cup of coffee, and I don't even know if I'll be around much longer than that. So all I can tell you is if you're a fan of the NWA, you can expect the type of great action that the NWA has given you since Billy has taken over the NWA. If you're not an NWA fan, being that this show is at the Chase in St. Louis, such a historic venue, historic event, and NWA from last year, NWA 73 being an awesome event, I think this is the perfect time to check it out. And if you can't be there in St. Louis, if you can't get tickets, if you want tickets, it's nwatix.com. Check it out on Fight TV. I'm excited to be there. Listen, me and Devon were the last NWA tag team champions. Okay? But that was the NWA when it was TNA. This is actually like my first match for the NWA. It could be my first and my last. I have no idea.
Wow.
But I'm excited to be there. And I appreciate the NWA fans for being so cool with me the past 2 nights I was there. Let's wrap this up. I got to go do some Hindu squats.
I'm pumped up.
I'm a body guy now, brother. I'm a body guy.
Me too. No,
you're not a body guy. But I like the magazine in the background.
Oh, what about the fingers?
The fingers.
The fingers.
Frankie Fingers.
Folks, I've been C-Fall. He's been Bully Ray. We're talking about NWA 74. I cannot wait. Thanks for watching another episode of NBC's 10 Count. Have a great day. Bye.